wind howled through the gnarled trees, carrying with it whispers of a forgotten past. The village of Ravenshade sat in eerie silence, its once thriving streets now overtaken by creeping ivy and thick fog that curled around the abandoned buildings like ghostly fingers. No one had dared to step foot here for years, at least no one who ever returned. Ethan Walker stood at the edge of the forgotten road, his breath visible in the chill of the evening. He adjusted the strap of his backpack and glanced at his companions. There was Mark, always the skeptic, rolling his eyes at the sight of the decrepit village. Sarah, the ever-curious documentarian, clutched her camera tightly, her wide eyes scanning the darkened structures. And then there was Olivia, quiet and uneasy, her arms wrapped around herself as if warding off an unseen presence. "This place gives me the creeps," Olivia muttered, barely above a whisper. Mark chuckled, kicking a loose stone into the overgrown path. "It's just an abandoned village. What's the worst that could happen?" Ethan didn't answer. He had read the stories, tales of people vanishing without a trace, of eerie figures glimpsed in windows of houses long unoccupied. It was why he had come. He had to know if the stories were real. The group stepped forward, their footsteps echoing against the cracked pavement. The air grew thick, heavy with an unsettling silence, as though the village itself was holding its breath. Sarah raised her camera and pressed record. "We're here at Ravenshade, the lost village that disappeared off the maps decades ago. No one knows why. The people were just gone. Houses abandoned, food left on tables, as if one day everyone simply walked away and never returned. Or maybe," Mark interrupted, grinning, "they were taken." A shiver ran down Ethan's spine. He glanced toward one of the houses, its door hung ajar, creaking slightly in the wind. Shadows shifted inside. Or was it just his imagination? "Let's check it out," he said, leading the way. Inside, the house was frozen in time. A wooden table still had plates with long-rotted food. A child's doll lay on the floor, its glassy eyes staring upward. The air smelled of dust and something else, something damp and earthy, like decay. Sarah panned her camera around. "It's like they left in a hurry." A sudden bang from upstairs sent Olivia stumbling backward. "What was that?" Mark scoffed. "Probably an animal." Ethan wasn't so sure. Cautiously, he climbed the rickety stairs, the wood groaning beneath his weight. The upper floor was lined with doors, each slightly ajar. He pushed one open and froze. There, in the center of the room, stood a chair, and on it sat a figure. A mannequin dressed in an old-fashioned gown, its head tilted slightly as if watching him. The air turned icy. Ethan took a step back and the door behind him slammed shut. Downstairs the others heard the noise. Olivia screamed. Sarah bolted for the stairs, her camera still rolling. "Ethan, what's going on?" No answer. Mark grabbed the doorknob and twisted hard. It wouldn't budge. Something or someone was keeping it shut. Then from behind the door a whisper, "Get out." The voice was not Ethan's. Panic surged through them. Olivia pounded on the door. "Ethan, open up." The whisper came again, closer this time. "You shouldn't be here." Then silence, and suddenly the door swung open. Ethan stood in the center of the room, staring at them with blank, empty eyes. He was breathing, but he wasn't there. The mannequin was gone. Sarah grabbed his arm. "Ethan, are you okay?" He blinked, as if waking from a trance. "We need to leave. Now." They didn't argue. They rushed down the stairs, out of the house, and back onto the overgrown street. The village was darker now, the shadows longer, moving in ways that defied logic. As they reached the edge of the village, Ethan turned back one last time. In the window of the house, the mannequin stood, its head now fully upright, staring directly at him. And then it smiled. The group never spoke of Ravenshade again. But at night, in the quiet moments before sleep, Ethan swore he could still hear the whisper. "You shouldn't be here.